I have never been more convinced in my life that we're going to get Silksong news in the next 2 weeks, and I have never been wrong before. Ever. Okay, so I've been covering the news in my normal way with the drips and drabs that we've been receiving it, but this is all of the reasons why I think that our wait is nearly over in one simple video. Plus, some debunking of other theories, which turns into a little bit of a rant at the end, so stay tuned for that. First up, we know that Silksong is going to be playable at Game Worlds, which is the upcoming video game exhibition at Acme in Australia, opening to the public on September 18th. And I did receive a comment on my last video about it from someone who does actually live near Acme, and they confirmed that you could literally just go play Hollow Knight in its entirety when that was being showcased. However, it has also since been confirmed by representatives from the museum that they will have a mixture of commercial releases, demos, and custom builds, so let's not release the hype train just yet. Though I'd imagine that they know exactly what would happen if they even had just a demo to showcase before release. Like, maybe I exist in this Silksong hype bubble where there is just overwhelming anticipation for this game. I fear that they wouldn't be well prepared for, like, an army of rabid fans, and Team Cherry wouldn't do that to them. Would they? There is 111 days between now and September 18th, but let's bring that release window down a little bit further. So the Japanese Nintendo eShop confirmed that Silksong was not a Day 1 Switch 2 release, nor is it under the undetermined release date category. It's under the heading for games releasing after June 6. Like, that is an active choice that they put it there, and not under the heading that doesn't have release dates. That makes it just a 104-day period. Moving swiftly on, we know that multiple storefronts are preparing for updates specifically on their Silksong listings. SteamDB has been reporting for like over 2 months now that they're missing the access token, which usually means that someone is working on a version of the page in the background and that will be published when it's ready. This is also the first year since 2019 that Team Cherry have even bothered to update the year in the copyright disclaimer at the bottom. It's not something they do every year. So why this year? In addition to that, a few days ago on the 22nd, Reddit user TomNook5085, I swear you always have the news, they posted to the Silksong subreddit after noticing that the Xbox page had been modified. So this is the Xbox store page for Silksong. It's not entirely clear what has changed, nothing seems to have happened on the public side, but this might be similar to Steam in that something is actively happening in the background. I did check a few of the games, Blueprints, Gears Reloaded, and A Hat in Time, and all of them have been modified in some way in the last week, so I don't know if it is something that's automatically happens. I don't have the knowledge there, I'm afraid. I wouldn't normally say it means anything, but in conjunction with everything else, it may well mean something. Now, 2 months ago, Team Cherry finally found their Kickstarter password, and they replied to a question confirming that they are still planning on reaching out to everyone before launch to make sure that backers are getting the game keys that they're owed. And keep in mind, they hadn't commented on there for like 4 years. They had been periodically logging in, but not posting anything, so unfortunately, this is what constitutes big news for us. It is a positive sign, at least. And Silksong has recently been resurfacing in comms from their platform partners, and yeah, I know, I remember what happened with Xbox. The difference is that it's not just Xbox this time round. Nintendo have featured Silksong in a newsletter that I did receive, and my heart did skip a beat for a little bit there before I actually read it. And if you're sitting there thinking Nintendo might just be doing the same thing that Xbox did all those years ago, then I'm not sure how I can convince you otherwise. However, after the Switch 2 Direct with, you know, the few new seconds of Silksong footage, I received their press release email, which also provided media for all of the games that they showed, which could be used in our coverage, including some new key art and screenshots from Silksong. This was the most, like, new stuff that we've seen in years, so I am inclined to believe the 2025 release window that they got to share is accurate. Maybe I've just been smoking too much hopium, but that's kind of my nature. Plus, let's not skip over the fact that it did actually say 2025 in the Direct instead of, like, in a random tweet afterwards. Effort was put in there to make sure that it was in the Direct itself, and I just hope that these companies don't make the same mistake twice. 3 times, 4 times, I don't know how many times it's happened now. So, altogether we have a 104-day potential release window and some positive signs that something is happening behind closed doors. But that window isn't just June, it covers June up until mid-ish September, so why is it that I think that we're going to be getting news in June? Summer Games Fest, obviously. We spent so long debating within ourselves what Leth meant when he said that the next news would be direct from Team Cherry and it would be big news. We certainly didn't expect 4 seconds in a montage covering all the games coming to the Switch too, so I'd like to throw that statement out the window. No more comments about that, please. Clearly, it could happen anywhere, anytime, through any communication channel. There's quite a few conferences taking place during the Summer Game Fest period, including a rumoured but not yet announced Nintendo Direct syncing up with the Switch 2's release. Don't know if that's happening, but very exciting if so. They're really treating us this year. But back to Summer Game Fest. Going on what's actually been confirmed, if we hear anything about Silksong, I'd put my money on the Summer Game Fest conference, so like the opening conference, or the Xbox Game Showcase. And unpopular opinion, but I think Xbox is more likely. But hear me out before you dismiss me entirely, because I see a lot of comments like this claiming that it makes no sense to go for a showcase that's affiliated with a platform when the game isn't exclusive to any. So let's go through each of these points point by point. 1. Leth expressed desire to work with Jeff Keighley on reveals in the past. Okay, hands up, I might have missed that, but I also can't see anything to support that either, so please let me know when that happened. Like, I did try to Google it, I promise, but drawing a blank here. Leth just expressing interest also doesn't mean, at least to me, that it must be happening. Leth has said a lot of things, remember? Jeff is in contact with Team Cherry, asking them about their progress before each major event every year. I'm gonna need a source on that, because look, I'll level with you, I am horrifically biased because I do not like Jeff at all, but I am aware of that bias. From my perspective, it's more like Jeff has been desperate to be the one to break any Silksong news. It's like how it feels when he's showing off his friendship with Kojima, and I love Kojima, this is nothing against Kojima, but why does he always get like an uninterrupted long segment at the Game Awards to talk about his games, whilst other developers who have won awards are being rushed off the stage during their speeches? Like, he likes being able to get those Kojima announcements, the exclusives direct from the source. I'm sure he would also love to have something like Silksong in his show. Like, he likes being able to be the person to break that news. And no shade to him for acting that way, because I'd absolutely kill to be in that position and be able to be a part of all these big things, these big announcements, but I am not convinced at all that he has been speaking to Team Cherry regularly. He never has anything solid to say about Silksong. Like, obviously he knows if it's not going to appear in one of his presentations, but otherwise it's just really vague stuff like, oh, Team Cherry is still cooking on that one. Like, someone like him, and I promise someone like him, could easily make an educated guess on that, given he's so well connected. Like, he knows what's going to be announced and what isn't going to be announced, and if he hasn't heard anything specifically about Silksong, then obviously they're still cooking. It's not hard to make that assumption. Second point, yep, that's correct. Xbox did get a Silksong trailer because it was announcing that the game was coming to Game Pass on day one. Nintendo got a few things because it was announcing that it's coming to Switch too, but Nintendo got the demo at their booth at E3. Why does everyone forget that? When Silksong was revealed, in that blog post, Nintendo Switch was one of the platforms that it was going to be releasing on. Like, so from the first day that we knew Silksong was a thing, Nintendo Switch was there. So that does mean, yeah, Nintendo got the demo and like cool new things to share without having an additional announcement. Now, I would imagine it was probably because that was the cheapest way to get their demo at E3, because Lord knows E3 was expensive when it did exist. Basically, I just don't like the rhetoric that platforms only get to show stuff when they're also announcing something else, because that hasn't been the case so far. Third point, correct, Team Cherry does not have exclusive deals with any platform. It doesn't make sense to reveal the release date at an event targeting one console when 2 days prior there is the second biggest showcase of the year for all platforms. Why not? I mean, I also saw other comments claiming that it'd be Summer Games Fest because it has higher viewership. Last year's Xbox Showcase in June generated 4.2 million watch hours, compared to Summer Game Fest's 3.5 million watch hours. And Summer Game Fest was actually longer too, not by a lot, only 10 minutes, but if you were thinking, oh, maybe it's because the Xbox Showcase was a lot longer, no, that's not the case here. They're both big shows, but Summer Game Fest isn't the biggest. A lot of the wording that I see in comments like like this is as if they're coming from like a logical point of view. So here's what I want to know, like why would Team Cherry pay $250,000 per minute to get into Summer Game Fest when they could probably easily just get into one of their partner presentations for much less, if not free, and they'd probably get more viewers if it was the Xbox showcase. And if you truly believe that the release date should be shared in a way that isn't affiliated to any one platform, then why would they pick Summer Game Fest over just using their own channels? Instead of paying $250,000 a minute, they could just post it on their YouTube channel with a reveal trailer for free. In fact, they'd probably make money from it. The way I see it is Team Cherry don't need any of these presentations. So why would they pick the most expensive option that doesn't even have the highest viewership, that has basically never been the highlight of the Summer Game Fest conference period, despite it kicking it off and having the name? And before you say it, yes, I am well aware that I may have to eat my words next week, but I'm prepared to do so. Like, I'll be watching and streaming everything either way, and I'll be so happy if we just get like any news at all. I'm just a bit tired of seeing people claim that it makes no sense that they would opt for something like the Xbox Showcase or a affiliated presentation, when I don't think it makes sense to rule any of them out. And also, with that, when has Team Cherry ever made sense? Like, the lack of comms compared to how they operated previously, it doesn't make sense. Not hiring a community-facing person to keep everyone in check doesn't make sense. Yeah, another theory that I've seen a lot is that Team Cherry wouldn't release Silksong during term time, and I hate to break it to you, but summer holidays aren't the same around the world. In fact, summer in Australia is actually like June, December time. While I don't personally believe that they're going to factor in term times or exam periods into their decision for release date, I do really hope that it's after the majority finish, so you can enjoy your game in peace. The Xbox Showcase is for Game Pass debuts only. Incorrect. They've actually already confirmed that this year's show will include updates about previously revealed games, so, you know, that makes me a little bit hopeful, even if it is Xbox. Look, they deserve a redemption arc. This was supposed to be a quick video, but I just kept typing. And don't forget, there is also this whole new gaming showcase on the 8th of June dedicated to games that were developed in Australia and New Zealand. Imagine if it just appeared in that, which is at midnight my time. Right, let's wrap this up. The main takeaway of this video is that I think that we're going to be getting big news in the next 2 weeks, and that's based on too many factors that would likely just be a coincidence for other games or any other game, but we've been pretty starved for information in the Halosphere, so any kind of combination of so many things at once, like, that must mean something. Don't rule out platform-specific presentations. Do come watch them all with me next week so we can hope and cope together. Man, what if it's the last opportunity for me to put on the clown makeup? I hope you guys watched my clown makeup tutorial, so you know how to do it for next week. I'm gonna be so sad if I never get to do it again, because I feel like I look really cute as a clown. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.